Hey boys and girls, this is lesson 2.3, all about factors and factor pairs. Today you're going to learn about factors, about products, and about factor pairs. There's an example there to the right. We will be going through that in this lesson. Make sure you get this written down, get it dated for today in your math notebook, and when you're done with that, come on back. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is in your math notebook list all of the multiplication facts that you know that equal 14. You can make a raise to help you if you'd like. When you think you have that done, come on back. So here's the two multiplication facts that I know that equal 14. I could do 1 times 14 equals 14, and there's an array, one row of 14. Or 2 times 7 equals 14, and there's an array of 2 rows of 7. Now I also know the turnaround facts would be the same for that, right? So 14 times 1 would be 14, and 7 times 2 would be 14. That would be true as well. So in the equations below, label the factors and the products. So go ahead and write those in those are the factor pairs for 14. Go ahead and make sure you have them written down in your notebook. You probably do from what you've just done. Label the factors and the products on that. When you think you have it, come back and make sure that we have the same answer. So that's what I have. So the 1 and the 14, the things I'm multiplying together, equal the product. The product is the word used when you're doing a multiplication problem and you have the answer. The product is the answer to a multiplication problem, and you're multiplying two factors together. Hopefully that's what you understand. And then factor pairs, the 1 times 14, the 1 and the 14 are the factor pairs, 2 times 7 factor pairs for 14. The two things that I multiply together, the two factors put together, are your factor pairs. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. Make sure you have notes written about those different things so that you know what they are. Okay, so I'd like you to see if you could find all the factor pairs for 18. I'm going to do 3 different methods, and then I'll tell you my personal favorite, but any of the 3 work, so any of them would be great for you to use. Okay, so the first one is, I guess I'll show you now, it's probably my favorite one, and that's doing the factor rainbow. You may have seen this before, but here's what I do. So if 18 is what I'm looking to do, I would do a rainbow. I'm going to start with 1, and I know 1 times 18 is 18, so that's the first one I'll do. And then I'm just counting by counting numbers. So 1, the next number is 2, so I'm going to say to myself, can I do 2 times something? Well, I know I can because 18 is an even number. Any even number can be divided by 2. So 2 times 9, I know, is a multiplication fact that would equal 18. And then again back over to the left. Now I've said 1 and 2. The next number I'm going to try is a 3. And I do know that 3 times 6 equals 18, so I can put that down. Then I'm going to go back to the left, and I've got 1, 2, 3. The next one I'm going to try is 4. So I'm going to go through the 4 facts in my mind. Do any of those equal 18? No, they don't, because 4 times 4 is 16, and 4 times 5 is 20, so that doesn't work. The next number I'll try will be a 5. 5 times nothing, I know, because it doesn't end in a 0. 18 doesn't end in a 0 or a 5, so that can't be right. And then the next number as I'm counting is 6. So I've made it to the other side of my rainbow, which means I've got all the factor pairs. So the reason I like this method so much is because I can always make sure I have them all. Hopefully that method makes sense to you. So that's one. Another one is I can just think through the different factor pairs and try and list them for myself, going through multiplication facts that I know. So I do know that 1 times 18, I do know 2 times 9, I do know 3 times 6, and hopefully I will get them all. My worry is I won't always, so that's why the rainbow is a better method for me personally, but that's a different method. And then another one would be to use division to help me think of factor pairs. So I'll think about 18 and I'll think 18 can be divided evenly by 1, true, because 1 times 18. So now I'm using division. I know that 18 divided by 1 is 18, so that one works. Can I divide 18? Can I divide 18 by 2? Oops, that was supposed to be a division sign there. Division, there we go. So 2 times 9, because I know 18 divided by 2 is 9. That works. I can try dividing by 3, and I know that 18 divided by 3 is 6. So there's another factor pair, and I know that there aren't any more. So that's another way I can think about finding all my factor pairs. So you see which of those methods works the best for you. Just make sure that you're always thinking about how to get all of the factor pairs, because that's going to be really important to you in everything we do moving forward. So, okay, so there are some for you. So make sure you know the factor pairs for 18 are the ones that are listed there, the ones we just went over. And then the fact I wanted to just really make sure to point out to you here is turnaround facts. They're important for us to know. When I get to the turnaround facts, I've gotten all of my factor pairs, but I don't need to list them again because they are the same number combinations. So I wouldn't need to add factor pairs 18 and 1. It's the same thing as 1 and 18, which is already there. But turnaround facts do help us to make sure that we have gotten all of our factor pairs. So when we get to the other side of that rainbow, and I'd be starting to say them again going the other direction, I've got them all, and that's a good thing to know. Okay, you're going to look now in your math journal at the Finding Factor Pairs, which is page 39 in your math journal, and you are going to complete this page. When it asks you for the equations with two factors, all they're looking for is for you to say, so for this first one, 1 times 20 equals 20, 2 times 10 equals 20. Can I do 3 times anything for 20? I can't. I could do 4 times 5 equals 20. And then since I'm picturing my little rainbow over here, right, I've done this in my mind. 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. I know there's nothing in between 4 and 5, so I'm back to going the opposite direction. I have them all. So that's how I'm going to write the equation with the two factors. And over here in my factor pairs, I'm going to be writing 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. That is the way you're going to complete this page. So go ahead and do the rest of it. When you have it done, come back and check to make sure you have your answers correct. If any of them gave you difficulty, just star it or make some note on your page so when you come to lesson tomorrow, we'll be able to talk about it. Okay, have a good night. There's those answers, just for you.